Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to cover last section of test number 1 IELTS General Training Volume 1 book, and this passage is in section 3, the last passage, and it's going to be the longest passage, and it is about the early history of cricket. As the name itself suggests, it's going to talk about the history of the game. Let's take a look at what kind of questions do we have. Passage is quite big. Let's see, from 28 to 35 we have completion type questions. It's fill in the blanks. We have to write our answers in no more than 2 words. The next question type is matching features. We are provided with the list of places, and then we have 1 2 3 4 5 questions for this, right? And we may use any letter more than once. So these are the 2 question types that we have. So we can start off with the easier one, and that is completion type. Okay, the first clear references to cricket occur in English dash documents. Okay, so you're looking at an adjective over here. First clear reference is your keyword, and cricket, English documents, they're all going to help you find your answer. So let's try to read it from para 1 itself. Today, cricket is a billion-dollar sport with fans and players, both amateur and professional, in all 4 corners of the world. Its beginnings are shrouded in mystery until the game starts to appear in legal records from the middle of the 16th century in Surrey, a county in the southeast of England. Okay. Game starts to appear in records. Records is another word for documents, and England, that means the word that we're looking for is legal. The first clear references to cricket occur in English legal documents. Cricket wasn't played by dash until the 17th century. Played by whom? 17th century. So 17th century it is here. Let's go to the next paragraph. The game had developed into an adult pursuit by early 17th century. Okay, then this means we have to go back a little to see what kind of people played the game before 17th century. So we'll read it maybe from here. In fact, during this period, today there were a number of bat and ball games played by children. It wasn't until 1600s, anything resembling cricket was taken up by adults. The 1597 case in Surrey concerned ownership of land and made clear that cricket was played by school boys in 1500s. Okay. So it was played by school boys, it was played by children, but it wasn't played by adults until the 17th century. So it wasn't played by what? Adults. So adults is your answer. Next question. Changes were made to the rules because of more than one dash on the cricket field. Changes, rules. More than one what? Why were the changes made? Changes. Alright, let's read. The first inter-village match held in Kent dates from 1600, after which the sport begins to appear in the records with a little more regularity. Since these archives are usually kept for legal purposes, the context in which the sport appears is often somewhat charged with breaking the Sabbath or of violence at a match, or the occasional fatality caused on field by contact between a bat and a fielder, as the players chasing the ball are called. Cases such as the last one occurred in Sussex and eventually led to a law designed to minimize this danger. So the last one, what was the last one? It was an occasional fatality. Okay, something fatal happened, and that led to changes in the law to minimize this danger, and the laws were codified in London, right? So because of more than one, occasional means it is occurring more than once. So you will say more than one fatality. Next one. The dash in games between members of the upper classes were often residents from the local area. The dash in games, okay, members of the upper classes were often residents from the local area. Okay, so again, who played the game? One of the characteristics that developed in the middle century, those playing into the categories of gentlemen. Okay, so aristocrats, local village, fellow noble, okay, compete against a fellow noble, head-to-head match with villagers serving merely as fielders. It is the fielders who were the residents of the local area. So fielders in games. It's possible to argue that dash started to be kept when an account of a game gave the result for the first time. Okay. So an account of a game gave result for the first time. What started to be kept when the game started giving results? Okay, so what were kept? Maybe some records or something. Grew importance, so and so. First matches, recreational game in Aleppo, American colony, Askent match date, same time, although during period results were not reported until a game between Sussex and Kent made clear that Kent had been too strong for their opponent, that the era of cricket statistics in any form began, right? So when the results were being declared, it was the statistics that were being kept from then on. So it is statistics to be kept, right? Okay, next. Cricketers from dash were given new opportunities when new clubs sprang up. Cricketers from what were given new opportunities? Okay, new opportunities. Let's come to the next para. By the latter half of the 18th century, cricket was well established and a number of clubs founded, so and so, employing professional players from rural areas who had experience and expertise. So, cricketers from rural areas. It is cricketers from rural areas. Okay, the club in Hambledon held a dash in cricket and was a place where members of the upper classes met. Okay, so members of the upper classes met and they held a dash. So most prominent among these clubs was the village of Hambledon, county of Hampshire, with a county name. Held a. Did they hold a county? No. They held a dash in cricket. Okay, it was a social club for members of the gentry. So gentry is where upper classes met, members of the upper classes met. Okay, and it would only lose its dominant position with the formation of Marylebone Cricket Club in London. So this is pretty difficult. It has to be dominant position. They held a dominant position because they're talking about they would only lose a dominant position with the formation of this club. So they held a dominant position. Next one is number 35. The lack of dash on the part of USA and Canada today contrasts with their role, okay, in first international match. Lack of dash on the part of USA and Canada. Okay, USA and Canada, slightly simple to find. USA and Canada, first international countries. So they lack of what? Not known for their cricketing prowess. Yes, it is cricketing prowess. So lack of cricketing prowess is the right answer. Cricketing prowess. Expertise. Okay, let's now move on to the next one. And here we have the list of places. We have to see and find which place talks about what event. The first event is, it was where first concrete evidence of cricket being played was found. Okay, I think we have to go to the initial para, because it was, I think, Surrey, right? Surrey. It was this place, Surrey, a county. See, para E. Yes, it should be Surrey only. So this is E, right? Okay, it was where people agreed on the first set of accepted rules. People agreed on the first set of accepted rules. Okay, first set of accepted rules. Okay, I think it's talking about that fatality problem. So lead to a law designed to minimize this danger, when the laws of cricket were first codified in London. London is the place. So it has to be F. F. It lost the first game where the result is known. Okay, result is known. I think we go back to the last para. Result is known. Yes. So Sussex and Kent made clear that Kent had been too strong for their opponents. Right? That means who lost? It was Sussex. So it's B. Next. It was used to refer to something much smaller than might be expected. Much smaller than might be expected. Much smaller. I think it's talking about the dominant position. Dominant position, I think it's talking about. So much smaller than expected. It's talking about, definitely it's talking about Hampshire. It's Hampshire. D. It should be D. It played the first game of an important competition. It played in the first game of an important competition. Okay. First game of important competition. First game of important competition. Okay. Let's see. In the north, Nottingham and Sheffield boasted prominent clubs, the former, that means Nottingham, representing its country in what would be termed as the first county championship match. That means it's Nottingham only. It's G. So G is the right answer. And that's all for this video. Hope you have understood. Please apply the strategies in these question types to see if you're getting the answers correctly or not. I will see you in the next video very soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.